How are we getting on, folks? Look at it was a bit, I suppose, when you put it all into perspective, we had a very, very good day on Sunday. Look at Sky Ace going out to 28-1 was a very, very nice touch. We were just unlucky then, I suppose, with the rest of Punchestown being called off. In Cork, we had the likes of Joseph Conrad, Master McShee, next best. Very nice patron winner in not Sky Ace, Sace Gold. Very, very nice overall day, and we returned with an awful lot of profit at the end of the day. But moving on then to Punchestown tomorrow, it definitely looks to be great racing in store. A few of these are very, very big prices, so I definitely would be considering each way. I will go through it later on though. We are missing one down to being a patron pick, but other than that, for the free tips, there's some serious value out there. First race off though, the 12.25. It's a little bit of a hit and miss one for me. Personally speaking, I prefer Pure Genius in this particular one. Currently priced around 2-1 for Ted Walsh. Really, this one here is just going by the fact that Ted Walsh is relatively local to Punchestown and seems to do fairly well in this particular course. I can imagine so that he'd love to have a local winner here. I definitely think this Pure Genius is going to be well schooled and well set up and should be really ready to go now tomorrow. The favourite, little bit, I suppose, disappointing overall. Hasn't necessarily ran to, I suppose, a standard of 13-8 to go head over heels in, but I definitely think Pure Genius doesn't need to improve too much. I think he's running off the same mark and at the same weight, so he should be bang there at the end of the day. And I think 2-1 is great value, personally speaking. Moving on then to the 12.55, we are going to go with Emmett Mullen's horse here now, Cape Gentleman, currently priced around 5-6. This one here, it's definitely interesting. The fact that it is a hurdles newcomer, it was the Irish Cesarewitch winner. That was in, I think, soft to heavy ground, if I'm not mistaken. It's meeting heavy ground here now today. It should be well capable of winning a race like this. The Irish Cesarewitch is a very, very competitive handicap for the flat. So, for a horse that obviously has plenty of speed and plenty of ability in, I suppose, heavier ground conditions, I think overall you'd have to consider him simply down to the fact that Punchestown is a sort of a galloping course. It favours sort of flat recruits into hurdles, and I definitely think Cape Gentleman, if it produces the same quality on over hurdles as it did in the flat, it should be very hard to beat. Obviously, look at Hamden Swar likes the ground conditions and it does have hurdling experience as well, but I just don't think it has the same boot as this Cape Gentleman now tomorrow. I think overall that's what's going to be the proving of it, and I think Cape Gentleman should run out a fairly comfortable winner. Moving on into the 125, we're going to go with the first each way shout of the day. We are going to go with Buck Rogers, currently priced around 9-1. In my opinion, this is great value, as we touched on there in the podcast earlier on this week that went up on Sunday with Sean Flanagan on the Irish Racing Hour. We were talking about this Buck Rogers. Ryan spoke very, very highly of it. I suppose moving into tomorrow, it's still on similar enough conditions. I was looking through the marks. I don't think it's been put up too much of a weight, and I definitely think it should take a couple of runs more to, I suppose, stop it more so than anything else. I think 9-1 is great value. Look at Rabinia, an awful lot of good friends in racing of mine will be on Rabinia tomorrow, considering the fact that they own it. I want to wish them the very best of luck. But I just think Rabinia will be caught out in the heavy ground tomorrow. I don't think that she's She seems more of a summer horse than a winter horse, more so than anything else. And I just think 6-1 favouritism is a little bit short, in my personal opinion, for her. Moving on then to the 2 o'clock, we are going to go with another each way shout here now, but at a much bigger price. Shea Malaic here for Brian McMahon. I think Philip Enright rides it tomorrow. I think it's priced in around 16-1. Overall, this horse has serious ability. It often, I suppose, goes well fresh. Loves heavy ground, is a pure hardy battler. All you have to do is look at the race it won in Navan. I think it was the second last time it ran. But overall, I think it has a great opportunity here. It should be well capable of running to a fairly decent race. I think it should be well capable of placing. It's one of the only ones that really excel in heavy ground, and it's definitely going to be that tomorrow. I think 16-1 is a very, very big price for it. Philip Enright is a great man to have steering it, and I think it's running off 10-11, so it's virtually bottom weight. I think it's got a great opportunity here, and it should be well capable, providing it's fit first time out, that it should be able to run a fairly considerable race. The 2:30 then, we're going to bypass this simply because it's my patron pick, and I don't want to, I suppose, upset the followers that are contributing to the podcast. 3 o'clock, we are going to go with Henry de Bromhead's Nikolai at 8-1. This one here is going to be an each way bet here now tomorrow. All you have to do is look up Nikolai in Clonmel and you'll understand why I am picking this one. It absolutely loves heavy ground. Normally comes on from the run. It was 6th last time out. So it ran a fairly considerable race. But it should, I suppose, improve an awful lot more onto that. You look at this time last year, Nikolai was after running a race in 6th as well, if I'm not mistaken. Before it went to Clonmel, where it absolutely hosed up that particular day, it ran a very, very good race. And it should be well capable of running a considerable race now tomorrow. Rachel Blackmore takes a ride. Obviously, look at Rachel is one of the best jockeys in Ireland at the minute, and she is definitely, I suppose, hitting the ground running more so than most, basically. I think 8-1 is a great each way shout, and it should be well capable of running a very decent race. Mightn't necessarily win tomorrow, but it should be well capable of running up to a fairly considerable mark or considerable standard. Finally then, the 3:30, we are going to go with Recite a Prayer at 3-1. This one for me definitely looks very, very interesting. Obviously, look at Willie Mullins has the favourite here in Euro Tiep, but a £7 claimer is on board. Now, trying to think who is the £7 claimer, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. I can't seem to remember for some sort of a reason, but the one thing that did catch my eye was Patrick Mullins picking up this particular ride for, I can't remember who's actually trained this Recite a Prayer, but Patrick Mullins is on board anyway. It was a very, very comfortable winner in a pint last time out. I think it was subsequently bought then for a considerable price tag, but I think overall, look at it surely has potential. The fact that Patrick Mullins basically has pull in every single yard in the country, and especially his father's. I think the fact that he's avoiding Euro Tiep now tomorrow speaks volumes of Euro Tiep chances tomorrow. I think, unless Willie must think that the weight is going to affect it tomorrow, and taking the £7 off is going to do that, and bring it back into the swing of things. Now look, maybe I might be wrong. I definitely think Euro Tiep deserves the height of respect, but I think if Patrick Mullins had a chance of picking a winner, which I definitely think he does, I think he's gone with the right one now tomorrow. I definitely think this Recite a Prayer, Recite a Prayer at 3-1 is definitely looking to be one of the more likelier winners tomorrow, in my personal opinion. But I'm going to leave it there. Please make sure to keep liking, sharing, and subscribing. We're nearly at the 300 mark now. That's obviously brilliant, but I suppose, look, at it's just getting there more so than anything else now. For me, that's on the top of my sights basically. Please make sure to go over to the Irish Racing Hour and give that a subscribe as well. I think there's 25 or 30 subscribers on there, so we could really do with a bit of help trying to get up to the 1,000 mark. As well as that, I'll leave a link in the description below for the Patreon account. So far, so good for the last 7 days. Well, the first 7 days we started it up. Every single day we've come out with a profit. So I definitely think, look at it. It's definitely well worth the €10 a month. At the end of the day, it costs less than a box of fags per month, or it costs just a little bit more than 2 pints. So whatever your values are, it is for some and it isn't for others. But it would be great for a few more people to get behind us and get, I suppose, supporting us in our journey basically. But I'm going to leave it there. Like always, thanks very much for the support you've given me so far. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and hopefully with the help of God I've picked out a few winners for you again tomorrow.